Friends, human psychology is as complicated and tough to study and research in a scientific way as it is to apply many times easier and interesting psychological tricks in our daily life. So friends, today we are going to share 14 psychological tricks with you, which you can easily apply in your daily life and make your life easier. And after knowing them, you will not be the same as before. So, number 1, keep quiet and hold eye contact for satisfactory answer. If you ask someone a question and the answer they gave you is not right, you may feel that they are lying to you or not telling the whole thing properly. So here all you have to do is to look into their eyes without saying anything for a while, staying completely silent, and see until they tell the truth. Because when you maintain eye contact with someone, the other person starts telling the right and real things to break this awkward tension. Because they get the idea that they cannot fool you with their words. Yes, you have caught them. That's why you're looking at them like this. Now, because everyone feels uncomfortable in silence and seriousness, and he wants to get out of this situation by doing anything, that's why many times they share such information with you that they were hiding. This happens so many times that when we feel that someone is watching us, someone is staring at us, but we do not know who he is, or we even get suspicious that who is staring at us. But before we see him, that person turns his face or starts looking somewhere else. Whenever you get stuck in such a situation where you want to know who is watching you, then simply yawn, and the person who is watching you will also start yawning. Because yawning is a contagious action that every person starts copying himself by seeing someone else. Give yourself fewer choices when you can't make a decision. Friends, do you also get confused between more than one choice? What and which one should you choose? So this trick is for you. Only we feel that the more information and choices we have, the better decision we will be able to take. But this is not the case. In the year 2000, psychologists Sheena Iyengar and Mark Leopard published a research where they sold 24 variants of a jam for $1 off price. And the next day, they kept only 6 variants. As a result, the crowd of people came there on the first day, but people found it so difficult to choose one of the 24 variants that they did not buy anything. On the other hand, very few people came to see that jam the next day. But on the second day, the sales of the jam increased compared to the first day, which proved that the more choices we give ourselves, the more time and energy we will waste. And even after that, there is a better chance that you will choose the wrong option. So always give yourself fewer options. 235, and decide based on their thoughts. Friends, if we talk about ourselves, we try not to keep more than 2 options. Not more than that. Eye contact plays a very important role in any communication. If someone does not look at you while talking to you, does not maintain eye contact, then you cannot trust that person. 256. You feel like he is hiding something from you or lying. On the other hand, if someone looks at you too much, starts staring at you, then you start feeling scared of that person, or you start feeling uncomfortable. And no one likes this behavior. So how do we know if we are maintaining eye contact properly or not? Well, whenever you meet someone for this, 315, in the beginning you just have to notice the color of the other person's eyes. What is the color of his eyes? Here, in fact, we have nothing to do with his eye color. But whenever you notice the color of his eyes, then you must be looking into his eyes, which will help you maintain the right eye contact. T is very easy for a person to message someone or lie on his bed, call someone and ask for a favor or make a request. But if you really want the other person to help you, then instead of calling him and asking him for help, it is better that you meet him and ask for help if possible. Because this will reduce the chances of him not speaking. Because there you are presented in front of him. And this trick psychologically and emotionally tricks the other person to maintain a bond or relationship, which is not on the phone call. Trick your brain to stop procrastination, friends. If you are unable to complete a task that you have been avoiding for many days, then just think about doing that task before going to sleep for one night and complete the whole process in your mind. That when will you do that task? How will you do it? How much time will it take? And first complete it in your mind. This will make that task easier for you, and when you start doing it in real, then your mind will already have an idea that how to do it. You come to calm your nerves if you're going to give a speech on stage, or you have an interview, or you have to go on a date with someone because of which you are feeling very nervous, you're getting anxiety, then you should eat chewing gum before going. Because in a study, an experiment was done on 100 students, where the children who were eating chewing gum before the exam, they performed better than other children. This happens because eating chewing gum is a relaxing experience for us, which reduces the level of stress hormone cortisol in our blood, which tricks our mind and makes us feel more confident. Eliminate haters by asking for a small favor. If you feel that a person does not like you or hates you, and you want to remove this hate from your life, then you can do two things for that. Either you remove that person from your life or finish his hate and use this psychological trick for this. Ask that person for a small favor, simply asking for a pen. Now, if he hates you very much, then he will directly refuse you. Or if that person gives you a pen, then he will start changing his perception for you in his mind. He will think about you, that you may not be as bad as he thinks. That's why you thought of him as a friend and asked him for help. Trick yourself into a good mood, friends. If ever you are feeling a little low, you don't like anything and your mood is also getting bad, then by simply smiling you will trick your brain and make it feel that you are in a good mood. Because our body is made in such a way that the things or emotions in our body affect our external life. Similarly, how we feel from the outside, our body also behaves accordingly. If you want, just smile now and hold that smile for 5 seconds. You will immediately start feeling good. Friends, in everyone's life, sometimes something happens that we never forget, and it remains as a trauma in us. But many psychological studies have shown that by writing your traumatic experiences, your emotional state gets better than before. This reduces your stress and you start healing mentally. This happens because whatever bad happens to you, it always roams in your mind and hurts you. And there is one thing about our mind. The more you ask it to forget one thing, the more it will remember the same thing. That's why when you write your thoughts, you can think about it well and judge yourself with this. Those thoughts stop bothering you. Remember everyone's names. If you want to be popular, if you want to be popular among people, if you want your colleagues, your friends, and people to like you then remember everyone's name from now. Next time, call them by their name. If they are younger than you or equal to you, can't call everyone or your elders by their name. Normally, calling people by their name while socializing builds a good impression on you, because everyone likes to hear their name. And when you call them by their name, they start feeling instantly special. Count to 5 and get things done. Whenever you feel like doing something, which you should do, to do it quickly, convince yourself that you will count to 5 and start doing that work. And just start doing that work as soon as you say 5 for 3, 2, 1. For example, suppose you have to go to the gym, but you are feeling lazy. Count to 5, get up with your gym clothes and leave. Friends, this is called the 5-second rule, which Mel Robbins invented to trick your mind in a psychological way and to beat procrastination. And she says that whenever we count like this, our brain takes a rational decision while counting. Instead of thinking without thinking, keep avoiding work, it takes a right decision and completes that work. Learn things by explaining. The best way to learn anything or remember it is to explain it to someone else. Because whenever we learn something new, we put a lot of new information in our brain. And understanding anything new is very complicated for our brain. Whereas when we teach this complicated thing to someone else, while explaining it, we ourselves make things simpler, which makes it stronger in our memory. Use colors to be more productive. The environment where you're sitting and working, the color of the walls there, it can affect your productivity to a great extent. And according to modern psychology, you want to create a productive environment around you. Then you should use the most blue color around you. In fact, blue and orange colors do not make you more productive, but also keep your mood and emotions balanced.